Yeah, welcome to today's tutorial. We'll be learning how to make Zara cap with sequin sleeve. You can use any material, stretchy or not stretchy material. For your stretchy material, you use your edge circumference 22 or 23 inches. But this is a not stretchy material. I'm using 25 inches by 23 inches. I have 25 by 23 inches here. And this is organza. I just like the pattern design, but it's soft and transparent. So what I will do, I'm going to line it. It's soft and you can see my hand. Can you see it's transparent? So I'm bringing in the lining. So this is the lining. Can we see? And then I'll just put this on top of it. I will not be cutting the lining. I will just sew and then I cut the excess at the side. I will just cut the excess. So I'll just sew on it to be sure that the lining is adequate, and then after that I'll show us what we'll do next. I've lined it. Can you see the lining? And so the next thing I will do is to sew from here to here. Can you see the pins? I've pinned it down half an inch. I'm going to sew from the beginning to the other edge. This is the back. We can see the lining. I want to attach the macro. This is the macro. The length is 18 inches by 2 3/4 inches, 18 by 2 3/4 inches, and I want to get the center. I'm going to bend and then chalk both edges, chalk it, and then the same thing for the cloth. I want to get the center and then I mark, and so I'll make the two centers to align together. Can you see? Remember, this is the back, and then I'm going to fold this, the two centers align. I'm going to fold it, and then I will adjust in such a way that I will not be sewing on the macro. I still want to use the same line. Can you see the sewing I use? I still want to use that same sewing to sew this. So I'm just going to push it a bit so that I'm not sewing on the macro, but at the same time the macro will not be moving. This macro must not be moving. So I'm just going to leave small space so that I can sew like this on it. But before that I want to pin so that the macro is not moving. I want to pin. Now I've pinned it. Can you see that the macro is not moving? It's not moving. You have to just leave small space for the sewing. And then what I'll do next, I'm going to bend this. I'm going to bend. Can you see? And then I sew. I'm going to bend. I'm going to pin again. Pin again. And then sew. The reason for that is that by the time I turn, you won't be seeing this sewing. That's why I did that. By the time I turn, you won't be seeing this sewing. So you fold like this and then sew, making sure that this is not moving. The macro is not moving. I've sewn it, can you see? And I've ironed it to make it neater, but you have to be careful. This is organza. So for organza, you might not iron it. And when you iron, place maybe your handkerchief on top of it and the iron. Be very careful. The material is so light. So I've done this. And then the next thing is I want to measure. This is 18. This is okay for me, but you can reduce yours to maybe 15 or 16. It depends. And then I want to fold. I want to fold it and then shape it. I want to shape it. So I'm going to draw a curve from here to here. So if you want to reduce the length, you can do it with the curve. I'll just curve and then Can you see? This has reduced the height here, so you can just curl and then cut if you want to reduce this length. So you can just curve it, or if you want to do better still, you want to reduce more, you can cut. And so from here to here now is about 70 inches. It depends on what you want. Can you see the shape? And so the next thing I want to do, I want to sew from here to here. I want to sew, but before that, this is a non-stretching material. I have to measure. Can you see my edge circumference, and then I had 1/4 inch. So I measured it and then add 1/4 inch. That will determine my sewing when it comes to this place. So we just sew like this. You must check this. That is your edge circumference plus 1/4 of an inch. And so I sew, and then after sewing, I can use bias tape to cover the rough edges. But for today, you can check all my past videos. You can see how I use bias tape. But for today, I'll be using the whipping machine. After whipping my running stitch up down, my running stitch till I get to this edge. For the decoration at the back, have circular shapes. I use this plastic for the big one. This is the big one. This is satin. This is sequins, kind of the smaller one. And so what I will do, this is the right side. I'll place the right side on the lining and then sew and then cut. I don't cut the lining first. I'll first sew it and then cut. I have an example here. And so the right side, facing the right side, can you see? I use 2 of this. And so I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn. So I'm going to use my scissors to push it out. The diameter of the small circle, the sequence is the smaller circle. The diameter is 5 inches, and this is the big circle. This is satin. 5¾ inches. So I have the small circle and I have the big circle. So as I was saying, I'll just put the wording inside. So the wording inside. So when sewing, this is the right side facing the right side. When sewing, you sew round and leave some inches to turn it. This is the opening that I have here. I've sewn this one. The first thing, I'll place it on the lining. I sew, and then after placing on the lining, I join this, the right side facing the right side. I join this together, and then I turn it as I did this, and then I insert the wording, and then I'm going to sew it back. I'm going to close this place. I just left some inches so that I can turn it, and then I close it up. So I've done this for the big one. I'm here to sew this. I first pin it, the right side facing the right side. I will sew it, leave some inches to turn it, and then insert the wording. This is the hard one. You can see that the wording is smaller than the material. I'm going to do 5 of this and then 5 of this. I might not use everything. I have these petals. These are the small ones. What I did was to fold this and tack. This is the big one. Now what I did, fold the sewn part at the bottom. The same point. and then I cut it and tie. Okay. I'll just tie it. And so you can read this as you want. Take this together. 4. Put this. Can you see? It depends on what you want. But I want to arrange it like this. This will go up. I want the sequence to be at the edge, so like this. I'm going to tack it like this. So first, tack this. I'm going to raise this up, tack this to this, and then tack at this place. I'm going to tack it here. And then the next thing, this to this, and then tack at the edge. Can we see? So I'm going to tack this place. I'm going to tack this. I'm going to tack at the bottom. Right. So I'm going to tack it with needle and thread. This so I want to use needle and thread to tack. You can also use your glue gun. After that, I'm going to attach it either way, like this, to the back, or like this. So I'm going to attach it to the back. So I start. Go back again. And then attach it to this other edge. I'm trying to attach this. This is the middle. We have 1, 2, 3 at the side. 1, 2, 3 at the side. So I'm attaching this. This is the middle at this edge, the sewing part. So I want to attach it, and then I want to make sure my thread is not obvious at the back. Then I'm going to attach this like this, and then this. So this will be standing like this. Now this is the back. I want to use this piece to cover it. It's just the remaining material left. I folded it. Can you see it's not even straight? I folded it, just the piece and my running stitch. And so I want to roll this as rows. I'm going to attach it to this piece.